prime time.
Round one continues in the men's 400 meters. And the U.S. champion is in this heat. That's Jeremy Warner of Waco, Texas. The 20-year-old Warner has come from nowhere to gold medal contender in the footsteps of a legend.
I watched 96, and that's when I started hearing about Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson running forward into Olympic history.
That's when I actually thought about wanting to run track. Just getting to see him on TV breaking records, I knew that if I set my goals to do something like that, that one day I'll get to do the same thing that he did.
Here's a kid that you can kind of imagine sitting in the stands at Atlanta watching TV as a 12-year-old thinking, you know, I'd like to do that, and now he's doing it.
Jeremy Warner is doing it, and doing it well. At the tender age of 20, he won at trials and recorded the best 400 time in the world this year. Of course, some of his success can be credited to his coach Clyde Hart, the same Clyde Hart who coached Michael Johnson.
And Michael had outstanding speed. He was focused, and he loved to run. And this is the same characteristics that Jeremy possesses.
It's been a great honor just running under Baylor, running under Coach Hart, and being compared with Michael Johnson at the same time. I just hope I can just do what he's done in the past and just keep up the tradition at Baylor.
Warner wins, and Michael Johnson showing his approval.
I'm 20 years old. I have less experience than all the other runners, but I just got to run my race the way I've been running all year, and hopefully I can come out with a gold.
I think he's in the ballpark, and if he executes properly, it could happen.
Here is Warner. Wasn't it an old rock and roll song? The future's so bright I got to wear shades.
That's it. You got to wear shades. And, you know, Jeremy Warner made it clear that the shades was something that he started a couple of years ago and just kind of gotten into it. It's not an arrogant thing because he's not that type of young man, but he wears them. But, you know, Clyde Hart used the one word I think that really explains who this guy is, and it's execution. This young man executes, and if he executes at these Olympic Games in Athens the way he did at the trials in Sacramento, he probably will win the gold medal.
Well, remember Michael Johnson's golden shoes. Jeremy hasn't quite gotten that far yet. That would be a bit presumptuous. He is in his black shoes, but two Baylor Bears, and this one hoping that he can emulate one of the great ones, Michael Johnson. Bit of a bandage you see on his left leg. Here are the lane assignments, and Jeremy Warner on the outside in lane 8. That means he won't be seeing anybody in front of him.
And I saw that, Tom, and I thought about it for a second, but then again, there's that word execution. If Jeremy Warner goes out and does not change anything, that's Clyde Hart's instructions. Don't change anything. If he goes out and executes the first 200, get out and get in great position, he'll be able to come around the final turn and maybe take a little check to the left to make sure that he's in the right spot.
Great hopes and expectations for Jeremy, and the butterflies have to be flying right now. And he's underway in his very first Olympic race in the tough lane 8 as they head down the backstretch in this 400-meter opening round.
Well, I know for a fact that Michael Johnson has told him specifically, make sure you get out the first 200 and get in position, and that's what Warren is doing right now.
Looks like he is in position, running easily in lane 8. Top 2 automatically qualify for tomorrow's semifinals.
You know, it's scary when you look at this young man there on the left of your screen. That's Warner in lane 8. Scary to see how relaxed he looks, and now you see him begin to put the hammer down just a little bit.
Malachi Davis of Great Britain is there in second. And here's Jeremy Warner, though. Warner now starting to turn it on. Remember, top 2 automatically advance. Warner's taking no chances, pulling away from the field. Warner eases up, jogs across the line, and still wins.
That is unbelievable. That young man is ready for these Olympic Games. Jeremy Warner just let everybody know in the 400 that I will be the one to beat with that performance and the way he shut it down at least 15 meters before the tape. So here he is at the start, Jeremy Warner out in lane 8, knowing that he has to attack and execute the race right away. He goes out, he has no idea what's happening behind him in the other lanes. And then as Warner, look at this, he's in control. Look how relaxed his hands are. Look how relaxed his face is as he comes down the home stretch. And Jeremy Warner showing everybody right there with the way he slowed down at least 15 meters before the tape. and he is absolutely in control of the moment. Jeremy Warner enjoying his first steps on the Olympic track in Athens.
And let's go down to Bob Newmeyer with Jeremy.
Jeremy, at the beginning of this track season, in your wildest imagination, could you imagine running in Michael Johnson's shoes as the major player in the 400?
Not quite. I mean, I came a long way this year. Been great races so far, and got 2 more to go.
You were geared down at the finish line. Were there any pre-race jitters at all for you tonight?
Not at all. Coach Hart's been great to keep me calm. Daryl's been helping me keep me calm. So I just knew to come out here and run.
You heard Jeremy mention Darrell Williamson, his Baylor teammate, who was 4th at the Olympic trials, is here in the 4x400 relay pool. Warner, 45.56. So key qualifiers in the men's 400 meters, semifinals to be held tomorrow. And all 3 Americans looking good in their first races in Athens: Warner, Brew, and Harris. And Jeremy Warner, who has the fastest time in the world this year, proving he is the man to catch in the 400 meters. Warner setting the standard in his first Olympic race.